Hello everyone, this is Dr. Safia and I'll be talking about one of the most interesting and most demanded topics from all of you, that is about the GP doctor jobs in Dubai. The information I'm about to share with you guys is to the best of my knowledge and mainly based on my personal experience and also according to what I saw from the colleagues and co-workers and so on. So stay tuned for the video. I'll be covering mainly 4 points and that will be shown in the screen after this. If you're new to my channel, please do subscribe so that you can stay up to date with my new videos. Alright, so first we will be talking about how to apply for the GP jobs. Many of you asked me about this and this is the most basic step, right? So before you get to this point, I assume that you already have your eligibility letter in hand because that is a must if you want to apply for jobs in Dubai. If you want to secure a job in Dubai, you can do the applications beforehand, but it's not advised because they will obviously ask you for the copy of the eligibility letter, or they might just directly check from the DHA website if you're registered there or not. So if you don't know what I'm talking about and how to obtain your eligibility letter, then you can watch one of my previous videos about obtaining the DHA license. I will put that in the description box below. Apart from that, yes, so all the job applications are done online. So nowadays it's all about website, applying the jobs through that. The one I recommend and personally used the most is Indeed.com, and I think it's the most authentic one and it has a large number of medical job postings compared to the other websites, but there are many actually. So like we have Naukrigulf.com, mncjob.org, drjobs.ae and monstergulf.com. There is no harm in trying to apply from all the websites. You never know, it's like going to get you a higher chance of interviews. The more applications, the better your chances of getting interview calls. So I would suggest you to make profile under all of these websites, mainly focusing on Indeed.com. There is a good application for that on the mobile phone as well, so you can have that on your phone. Just have your CV ready and your profile ready, and you have to keep applying for the jobs. Let's see if there's something that I need to tell. I've written everything down here. That's why it takes time for me to make videos, and I'm busy also. So yes, so many people were asking me like how to apply for jobs if you're outside the country. Of course you can apply for the job if you're outside the country because everything is online, you just need internet, but your chances of securing an interview is if you're already inside the country. Like you have to come here either through visit visa or any, well, that's the only way. You need to be here so that if they call you for an interview, you can arrange it right away, because most of them are for immediate joining. I'm not saying that you can't go for an interview if you're outside the country, but usually that's a rare case. You know, it's always advised to be here and then you apply for the jobs. So many of you had asked me to share my job interview experience. So far I've only had 3 interviews for the job, and actually about the interviews, the experience can differ from person to person, and it also depends on what kind of a job you're applying for, whether it's in a small clinic, whether it's a big hospital, and how much experience you have. If you have a lot of experience, then you will expect to get yourself in the bigger hospitals, and if you're like a fresher or just, you know, starting off, then you would only get chances at working in a clinic, and those interviews will be not as tough. it won't be having that much competition. So such interviews, they already shortlist you. If they're calling you for the interview, that means that they're 80% of the times they're considering you for the job already, and the interview will just be a formality sort of thing. They will just ask you about your personal experience, your personal information, and about your work experience and things related to that. But if you're applying at a competitive place, then of course the interview will be tough. There are sometimes 2 rounds or sometimes even 3 rounds, and they shortlist people, they cut off people as interviews progress. They will ask you for your skills, of course, as a doctor, and the medical scenarios. It's more like an oral exam or viva exam. They will ask you anything related to your specialty. Now we're mainly talking about the GP, so anything that you will face in your GP life, which includes diseases like hypertension, diabetes, respiratory illnesses like asthma, and many other things. They mainly focus on the management from what I've noticed so far. And I didn't make to the second part of that interview, the one I'm personally talking about, so it was a very tough one. And later on they said they're looking for someone even more experienced for the position, so I couldn't make it. So I cannot tell you what the second interview round was like, but anyway, it's something that you really need to prepare for. Brush over your management of different diseases and stuff. But yeah, I think that is all I can tell you about the interview, because I only had 3 so far. So now the most interesting question is about the expected salary of GP, especially in the year 2020, which has been hit badly by the pandemic and the whole economy is down. So it's not even about that actually, but things are not so good in the healthcare industry in Dubai compared to the previous years. This is mainly because of the insurance being, medical insurance being necessary for everyone. So the clinics and hospitals are just fighting with the insurance companies to give the money, and like a lot of internal matters that many people will not tell you about, to be honest. Like I didn't know that it's this bad, but big hospitals don't really have a problem. But if you're going towards a private clinic, small clinic, then you could face such issues, and of course in this case you will not expect a good salary. But everything, your salary package, your benefits, and everything depends on the level of experience you have. If you're an experienced GP, then you can expect to get a good salary. So let's talk numbers now. Okay, so for freshers, first of all, freshers do not have a good chance of getting into the big hospitals. You will expect to go to a clinic or the private healthcare centers. So freshers can expect a salary of 6,000 to 10,000 dirhams per month, and if you're getting in the range of 7 to 8k, then you're at a good place according to the job market nowadays. Because everything, the salary can also fall below that, especially if you go with the Ministry of Health, MOH. Those operate in Sharjah, Fujairah, Ajman. There are clinics which are giving just 4 to 5k per month. So in Dubai it's still a bit better. And freshers can expect to get into small clinics because obviously you lack experience. Well, if you get lucky, you can get into a big hospital as well. It depends on your luck, but reality is that you should expect a little bit less because you're a fresher. And even if you have experience in your home country, if you're coming here, many of them will consider you a fresher if you just have like 2 years experience. Total 3 including the internship. If you are just someone who has just become eligible to give the DHA exam and you don't have additional experience, they will want UA experience, like it's high in demand. So again, you will start off in a clinic and move on after that. So people who have 3 to 5 years of experience, more than 3 years basically, then you can expect in the range of 10 to 12,000, and more than 5 years is going to be a good salary, which is more than 15,000. You can go up to 25,000 even. So that's all I know from the salary. Okay, now coming to the visa and accommodation. If you got a good salary package in a big private hospital, then you can expect to get an accommodation. If not accommodation, then maybe they will give you a separate salary, or like allowance for the accommodation, and visa also they will provide. But if it's a small private clinic and you're just starting off, then you can not expect any of these things. You will have to manage on your own, in fact, I've noticed this trend. Many of the places are asking for doctors, female doctors, because they know they will be on their father's visa or their spouse visa, and they want to save on the visa expenses. They don't want to give the visa. I don't understand why, but many places I've come across like that, which especially ask for female doctors with visa. And if you want a visa, they would tell you to bear your own expenses. So that's something sad I've seen, but it's not like a major issue. There are many other job opportunities for male doctors as well. Just something that I came across and I thought it would be interesting to share. And as for the accommodation in Dubai is more on the expensive side compared to the other areas like Sharjah. So you can expect to give at least 900 to 1,000 dirhams, even if you're living in sharing. And if you want to live in your own studio apartment or one bedroom hall, then you can expect to give around 2,500 dirhams per month, average. It can be more and less. This is just giving you an idea. So I would mainly advise you guys, like if you're outside the country especially, only come here after you gain minimum of 5 years experience. Only then you can get. I hope I've answered majority of the questions, and I hope it was helpful for all of you. If there is anything more that you want me to talk about, then please leave that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and take care. Stay safe.